four-star defensive end from Arizona Western Community College, the top-rated junior college prospect in the country. 6'5½", 264 pounds. Kid that had been committed to Tennessee for a while, decommitted. They managed to get him back after he got just a ton of suitors from all over the place. Really huge get for Tennessee on signing day.
Yeah, and to beat out, again, some major programs for him. USC and Florida State got his last two visits. Alabama couldn't even get an official visit, was in position to get one at one time and wasn't able to. Ole Miss was battling for him until the end. So another big recruiting win for Tennessee in a position of need. Defensive end was a tricky spot for Tennessee in this class. They had Chidi Okonya, a longtime commitment that they parted ways with in December, and after that they didn't have anyone at that spot for a while, and Kongbo really addressed that need. They don't need necessarily someone to come in and play right away, but Kongbo's capable of doing that, and I think they see him as kind of that extra pass rusher to make up for the loss of Kurt Magid from last year, and maybe even a guy with his size at 264 pounds before long could grow into maybe a three-technique defensive tackle or at least a part-time defensive tackle, so kind of a versatile defensive lineman in that sense.
They obviously have some guys at that spot now with Derek Barnett and Corey Vereen, LaTroy Lewis, and Kyle Phillips. Where do you think he fits in the mix there, and is he a guy that you could see winning that spot, beating out Vereen and Lewis and playing opposite Derek Barnett?
It certainly would be interesting to see how that competition goes this summer once he gets on campus. The fact that he's not arriving until this summer certainly doesn't work in his favor, makes it probably unlikely that he's a day one starter, but he's good enough to at least challenge there. I think ideally his immediate role is a complementary defensive end, one of those top 5 defensive ends who rotates in, and maybe a guy who slides inside sometimes on third downs as the pass rusher. Will see if he develops enough physically to do that right away, but at least by next year I think you could certainly see him doing that. Also, really a sought-after JUCO guy, not just because he's the best JUCO player in the country, but because he has 3 years of eligibility left. If for some reason he stays around till that 5th year, he transferred from Wyoming last year. If he sticks around, that's a guy you could have for 3 years instead of the typical 2 like most junior college players.